What is up, guys? Coop here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a guide on how to get blue sand and get that sick blue sand armor. I currently have it on my character, but I did want to kind of show you guys roughly what is my process when trying to get blue sand and how I got this in less than an hour. Obviously, this is a really fast way. You can actually make it go a little bit faster, but I was adventuring in the meantime. But let's actually look at the armor first before we actually go and do all that hefty stuff to make sure it's the right armor for you. So if you're going to be a heavy plate character, I highly suggest picking this up very early in the game, because this is actually one of the best armors to get besides the faction-based armors, and in addition to that, the wolf armor, which you will not get until roughly about either the close to the end of the game or midway through the game. So if you're trying to get a nice little leg up before you jump into the other areas and try to grind for hours on end, this armor is one of the best armors to get. And in addition to that, it doesn't matter which area you go to, so you don't have to make poison gear, you don't have to make like certain different types of gear. This gear actually gives you protection from all the different respective elements by 25. So really awesome there. In addition to that, it gives you a good amount of protection and an amount of impact resistance and resistances in general. So if you actually look at our stats here, you have a 7 protection and 48 of your resistances. Now, let me actually explain to you guys roughly what protection and resistances are. So on the top over here in the protection section, you'll see a 2. It took me a while to figure out what that actually meant. Basically, what it does is it takes a flat number off the top of whatever damage you take. So, for example, this claymore, it does 32 damage. My helmet has a protection of 2. So what it does is it knocks off 2 damage. So if I were to get hit by this, I would only take 30 damage. So with our combined total, we have 7. So we would only take 25 damage when getting hit by a claymore. Now, on top of that, we have our resistance. So basically, you'll see these like 2 swords kind of crossed and everything. That is a percentage of how much damage you actually take from that respective damage. So once again, showing the claymore as sort of a example. Basically, I have a 7 protection, which knocks it down to 25, and then I take 48% off the top of that as well. So basically, I am able to only take 13 damage when getting hit by this sword. So really powerful armor overall. In addition to that, having all the different resistances is really great. Now, the only thing that does not go well with this is if you're doing any type of magic based build, you're going to be obviously spending a little bit more magic, which is never a good thing. So don't do this if you're trying to be a mage. If you're a spellblade though, this is actually not that bad, because we don't use that much respected sort of spells. We just mainly focus on a few boons and maybe like a casting a fire on our weapon and stuff like that. In addition to that, it does cost stamina, and it does make your movement speed really slow. So the strat for, especially when you're trying to go out into the world and everything, is just to put all your armor in your bags and run to where you respectively need it, and then just putting on your armor real quick. You can even hotkey it if you really want to. So that's something to really check out. Now, what is required for this armor is, well, you go over here to this guy, and you can talk to him to craft your stuff. And you need a total of 10 blue sort of sand here. So one of the easy strats to really get some blue sand, especially early in the game, is by fishing. I already fished all the spots. They didn't give me anything, so I couldn't really give you much of an example. But basically, you're going to be fishing every once in a while. So there's usually a fish here. And if I run all the way over here, there will be a fish over here. And the last fish is going to be over here. Now, these fish actually reset like almost every day. So if you really wanted a really quick strat, especially early in the game, you could basically just keep going to your little bunk bed and then just sleeping, rinse, repeat, coming out here and grabbing it that way. But I'm actually going to show you guys a little bit of a faster way to get this armor a lot better, honestly. So without further ado, I will meet you guys at the coast, and we will jump in and see what is up. Alright, so now we're going to show you guys the strat of how to actually get to where we need to go. It's a little bit cold on this character, so it's going to be kind of a pain, but we'll make it through. So basically what we're going to be doing here is we're just going to be marching over to the beach. I'm going to pick up some wood so that way we don't freeze to death on our journey. I'll show you guys a nice little strat of how to get rid of that cold effect when you're camping out. because we will have to camp out for what we're going to be doing over here. So basically, you're just going to be kind of going to the right. This is also very helpful for a quest when you're trying to get your tribal sort of favor, so that way you can get your house back. So it's basically the same strat if you guys have seen that video. If not, check that out in the top right. I'll be sure to have that in the link. So that way you can get that house very early in the game. So what we're basically going to do is we're just going to kind of slide down this mountain. Sliding down this mountain can be a utter pain. So basically you just kind of want to like slide down it and push yourself against the mountain. You're sometimes going to take fall damage. It just happens. It is what it is. And then we've got a bird that's beaking at us. Okay. So what we'll do... we'll kill this guy real quick. I don't want to deal with his stuff. Yep. Die. Bam. Okay. Now that he's dead, and we don't have to deal with him. Grab his stuff real quick. Okay. So now we're on the beach. The beach is actually the most important spot to be at right now. So now you're going to see no blue sand at the moment. And that's okay. So basically what we need to do is we're going to set up our tent. And then we're going to set up our firing kit. Wait, if I could find it. There we go. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to set up that fire. Because obviously, you know, you need fire because it's going to be really, really cold. And we need to make it nighttime. This will allow us to be able to actually see the sand on the ground. So, obviously, you know. But one of the things that is going to be important is that there is another reason why we're going to be doing this at night, and it's going to involve a cave that is going to be full of water usually, but at nighttime all the water is kind of sunken out of the place because apparently it's low tide. So that will be very helpful for us as well. Alright, now that we have officially done our little nap, we can now take down our stuff here, and you can already see over there that there is some blue sand in the distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to go run on over to it and try to collect it. Now obviously there's going to be a few pesky mantis shrimp out here in the wild. They're kind of annoying to deal with. I understand if a lot of you guys are a little ill-equipped and don't want to deal with them. You can actually just kind of run around and dodge them. So basically, as you can see here, there is some glittering blue sand over here. So we're just going to go grab that real quick. Usually there is about 3 to 4 of these on the beach. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes not. But basically, I just kind of run down the coast here, and you just kind of keep going down the beach. Anytime there's a beach at nighttime, it's always helpful to just go out there and try to collect it as well, as it is very helpful. And I do believe that there is an additional 1 or 2 over that way. And then the main cave that we're going to be going to is over here. So obviously I've collected a lot of the blue sand that's already in here to collect this armor, but there will be an additional usually 2 to 3 out here. So once you have those 2 or 3, you'll have an additional 3 blue sand, and then that will reset over time as well. So just give it a couple of days, and then that sand will also respawn. In addition to doing that fishing stuff, you should get yourself up to an easy 5 within a max of like 3 or 4 days in game time. Which basically the strat is you go to the house, you sleep for 24 hours, sleep for 24 hours, you go out, fish, sleep for 24 hours, etc. And then this cave is actually one of the best ways to get blue sand. So remember, you have to do this only at nighttime. If you don't do this at nighttime, this cave will just have blue sand that's just sitting there taunting you. Now there is a mantis shrimp in there. You actually don't have to deal with that mantis shrimp at all. So what we're basically going to do is we're just going to kind of slide on down. And there will usually be about 3 spots you can collect blue sand. So right here. So, and we also got an additional gem, which is very helpful. So as you can see, we're making a lot of money off of this. There we go. We got 2 blue sand. So, you know, additional blue sand. Really nice. And we got 2 more additional blue sand. So now we have a good total amount of blue sand. So if we actually look at our bags here, I will show you guys how much we have. So now we have a grand total of 6 blue sand. Keep in mind, I wasn't able to get any from fishing, and we didn't even go all the way down the coastline. So as you can see there, you can usually get yourself maybe at about 8 to 9 blue sand per day when you do this. Now, you will have to wait sometimes for it to reset. Sometimes it resets a little bit faster than other days, but it's not a bad idea to, in the beginning of the game, just kind of do this little pathway. As you can see, I really didn't have to fight anything, so you just go, you grab all the blue sand, you put it in your stuff, you go do your adventuring and whatnot, then you come back in a few days, run around and pick up everything. And obviously I was able to get 6, and this is actually considered a bad run. Obviously I had more procs on the tiny aquamarine than I did with getting double the blue sand, but it's just one of the different ways that it happens. It's RNG, you can't always beat it, but having 6 blue sand, we can already create 2 pieces of that armor. And in addition to that, we have a little bit of that, and I can sell this after I have the armor and get myself a lot more gold or silver, and get myself a little bit more well off. Even for those rogue characters that don't want this armor, it's nice just to be able to have all that additional cash on hand. Anyways, guys, I hope you do enjoy this guide. I wanted to kind of get it as detailed as possible and just kind of be realistic and show you everything. I see a lot of videos where they're just like, oh, you can get like 20 blue sand this way, and then like in it, it's really just like 6 or 7, so it's hyper realistic, but as you can see, you will be able to get that full plate armor within just a couple of, like 30 minutes maybe of playing the game. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys next time.